That sounds so funny. Okay, I'm gonna get better at this intro thing. Hello! Okay, hi, I can't do that. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a non-fiction booktube tag because I realized that there is an entire subcategory of booktube dedicated to non-fiction. I'm guessing it's because non-fiction is not so popular. I apologize if it's really noisy outside because it's sometime in the evening and I think a lot of children like going out at this time. This booktube non-fiction tag is by abookolive. And I think it's a great way to connect to other non-fiction booktubers. I realized that even though I did the booktube newbie tag, I kept reinforcing the fact that I read mostly non-fiction, and then looking at the comments I realized that most people read fiction, and I was kind of willing to read more fiction, but I would also love to get to know more non-fiction recommendations, so I thought doing this book tag would help me do that. And that was the longest run-on sentence in my YouTube history. First question, how much non-fiction do you read? I read mostly non-fiction, maybe like 90%. Okay, no lah, I mean maybe 82% non-fiction, 8% local literature, and then 10% fiction. My book list is overwhelmingly non-fiction. 2. What kind of non-fiction videos do you make? Do you want to make on booktube? Honestly, I really have no idea because I didn't really think that I'll be doing booktube. I really didn't think that. I thought that this channel would just be a lot of random videos of me doing things, and it just so happened like books became one of the things that I had a lot of things to say about. You know, a bit more challenging, difficult, thought-provoking. I wouldn't want to like call it academia or intellectual. I just want to blend it, you know. I want people to feel like they can read difficult books and that they should want to read difficult books, you know, like how you want to get an education, and education is lifelong. And if you have the free access to pick up a super challenging book, then I feel like you should go for it, you know. 3. What's your favorite subgenre of non-fiction? I like anthropological books quite a lot, psychology books as well, but I love books that are very critical of something because I like a good argument. Okay, the genre that I don't really read is like autobiographies or memoirs. I don't really read that. Do you have a favorite non-fiction book? It's Quiet by Susan Cain. I love this book so much because it was like one of the earliest non-fiction books that I read that resonated so deeply with me. What do you think keeps people from wanting to read more non-fiction? I think actually, right, it goes back to the whole comfort challenge question that I had in my booktube newbie tag, because I think reading for a lot of people, it's supposed to be a like leisure activity. You're supposed to do it for relaxation and for fun, you know, like you bring a book with you on a holiday and you read it by the pool. But so people might not really want to read books that challenge them or basically tell them that the way that they're thinking is not enough or should be changed. I mean, generally people don't really like that, and definitely many people don't like it when they're presented with hard facts, and there's no room for imagination. For me, I think it's the opposite, because I can't get into fiction books precisely because they are so imaginative and fictional. You know, they're just in this faraway place that I can't access. And so I guess I don't read books for escapism. I think that's the biggest difference. And maybe for a lot of y'all, you read books to escape your current life. And I think that's perfectly fine as well. I think we all read books for very different reasons, but that's probably that difference is probably why a lot of people are very reluctant to get into non-fiction. 6. Why do you like non-fiction? I think this kind of is related to the previous question. It is really because I'm so curious about the current world that we live in, and the fact that each individual person can produce so much knowledge that is unique to them, and the fact that, you know, every single person has something to say, and that can be made into a book, and that's basically all the non-fiction books in this world. And I'm a huge believer of like constantly pushing yourself to be a better and evolved version, and that would definitely require a lot of questioning of your own thoughts and beliefs. So that's why I like non-fiction, because, you know, people are so nice. They write entire books for you to take your own time with them, to read them and to process and to figure out whether you agree with them or not. I mean, that's so nice. 7. What's a non-fiction book you read because of BookTube? I haven't really been on BookTube a long time, so I don't have a recommendation yet from BookTube that I want to check out. But if you're watching this video and you want to recommend me a non-fiction book, you're very welcome to do so in the comments.
Oh, let's go. Wow.
8. What's the best non-fiction book you've read lately? Yeah, the best non-fiction book I've read lately is probably This Changes Everything by Naomi Klein. I mentioned it in my previous video. It's a massive book, not in terms of the amount of words, but really the kinds of arguments and statements that she's making. Basically, she says like, tear down capitalism for a better climate. And I think that's a pretty huge statement to make, and I feel like she has made the point quite well. 9. What are some of your non-fiction reading goals? I just want to be able to finish a few from the different lists I have, but definitely my most overarching goal is to read as widely as I can. So whatever topics that I can reach, I will try to cover that. I mean, I have never touched economics in my life, but I'm willing to read economics books. I've never really touched like history or like visual arts, but I would love to read books on that. So I just want to read as wide as I can. 10. What's your advice for incorporating more non-fiction into your reading diet? I love that, reading diet. Finding things that interest you. And then there's a book for that, I'm sure. I would definitely recommend starting with like the top few books on the non-fiction like rankings, because if a lot of people are reading it, it probably means the writing is more accessible and that the ideas are more resonant. So if you really want to start off very easy, you can definitely check the rankings. If not, then I think as long as you Google something like, oh, I want to know more about bees, you know, then you can Google that. Or you can be like, oh, I want to know more about how paper was invented. You can Google that. Or you can start with autobiographies, or you can start with like a certain discipline. Like, oh, I want to know about this artist, let me Google that. Or maybe this form of art style, let me Google that. I mean, I feel like it's completely open, you know, and you don't have to limit yourself to a particular genre. There's just so many different genres to discover. Okay, that's all for this tag. Thanks for watching again. If you did check out this video, thanks so much, and like and comment down maybe your first non-fiction book that you checked out, or if not, maybe a non-fiction book that you would like me to review or you would like to share with me. That'll be great. And yeah, I want to recommend so many non-fiction books because they have really enriched my life in so many ways. Like reading all these perspectives, basically it's like getting an education for free, which I wouldn't say no to, you know. I don't have an outro, so check out my other videos. Hope you enjoy them. I want to make more fun videos and not just like me geeking out over books. Cool. Okay, bye.